Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Thank you for clicking this video. If it's your first time, welcome. My name is Pam and I make videos around mental health, trauma and recovery. I am currently training to be a counsellor. I'm based in the UK, and in terms of my day job, I work as a social worker in a community mental health team, and I'm also an approved mental health professional. If you're an OG, welcome again. Thank you again for clicking this video and for subscribing and just being part of this journey. So in today's video, as you guys may be aware, I'm talking about managing expectations and managing stress, really, but it's not in the way that you'd think. To be fair, I haven't actually planned this video, so this is more going to be a reflective video, and I'm going to be reflecting as I talk. But this video has come about, and what has really prompted this video is sort of my own experiences really recently. I think now that I'm training to be a counselor, naturally training to be a counselor brings out a lot of your own stuff, right? You begin to examine your own values, your own beliefs. You begin to examine your goals, right? What you think you want. You begin to question if it's really what you really want. And the more I've been doing this, the more I have feel less stressed. And I think it's because I'm understanding myself. And because I'm understanding myself more, I'm not comparing myself. And the goals that I have set for myself, it's not comparing to the goals that society or other people have set for me. So as a result of that, I have managed expectations in my own life. And as a result of that, it has caused me less stress. So like I said, this is not really planned. So I'm talking, and as I talk, I hope it makes sense. But essentially, what I want to talk about is the goals that we have in this life, and how sometimes our desire to meet these goals often brings about so much distress. So much distress that some people end up having a mental breakdown. Some people stop functioning. Some people end up just being overly stressed, and their mind feels so preoccupied to the point whereby they stop enjoying life, right? It feels like they're coasting through life. It feels like they're on a, hamster's wheel, constantly going round and round in circles, but not really getting much satisfaction in life. So I just wanted to talk about it really, like I said, because since doing this course and naturally you reflect on your life, one of the things that I've realized is that the goals that I had for myself before, although I wouldn't say it's changed very much, I feel like I'm now in a place whereby I'm beginning to question some of these goals and whether or not they are goals that I've set for myself or goals that society has told me to set for myself, because in return I'm going to achieve something, right? And as I've reflected on all these goals, and they're not like extreme goals or anything like that, but as I've reflected on some of them, I've come to realize that actually, Pam, this is not me, right? This is not even my desire. This is not what I want, right? This is not, it's not me, right? And it's simply because I'm knowing myself and knowing what I like, what I do want. It's nothing fancy. It's not to have a huge 6-bedroom mansion, to have an excess of money and to have beautiful cars and to be so filthy rich. No, like I just want a cute little house that's functional for me and my family. I want to be able to earn enough, and I just want to be able to grow my potatoes and veg in my back garden. That's literally my goal. Yeah, that's my goal. And it's not to say that, if opportunity comes for more, I wouldn't take it. But I think having those boundaries in my goal, which is so attainable and so achievable, and me knowing that this is what I want and this is what will make me happy, has just freed up so much time in my mind, and has brought me so much joy. I feel like I'm enjoying life so much more because, again, that element of competition is far removed. I'm not bothering myself chasing things that I don't need. I'm not bothering overworking myself for things that, I think will bring me happiness, when I know deep down it's not about that. It's more about appearances. That doesn't appeal to me no more. And on the outside looking in, it may look like, oh, and, it's really weird, again, because as I'm doing this course, I'm starting to realize more, when you meet people and you talk to them and like, oh, what do you do? And you know, or you see how people live their life. I often find that people who don't have an extravagant life, right? People who are quite happy in their little house, maybe they have basic jobs, you know, basic. I say that in quotation, maybe working in a job, in a retail, or, you know, doing, I don't know, cleaning, or, you know, jobs that people may not necessarily appreciate or look down upon. Actually, when you reflect on it, it's like, but actually it probably brings this person so much peace because there is such simplicity in it, right? It doesn't drain their energy, it doesn't take away the so much of themselves that they can't be there for their family. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that if you're somebody who is currently in a season in your life where you feel very stressed, you feel very distressed, you don't feel like life is going anywhere, you feel like you're constantly working and striving but you're not going anywhere, maybe it's time to reevaluate your goals, right? Go back to the drawing board, look at your goals and ask yourself, is this goal really for me or is it for other people? Who am I and what would truly make me happy? Because when you can answer that question, often at times you find that it's got nothing to do with attainment. It's got nothing to do with the big cars. It's got nothing to do with the huge house. It's got nothing to do with the millions. Of course, everybody wants money, but the excess of it, it's got nothing to do with that. When you really strip it down and assess all these goals and things that we want, a lot of it is for other people. And why live a life for other people? What's that all about? Why do you want to live your life? And I've met people in their 50s and 60s and, you know, and it's like they're trying now to live a life authentic to them and they're finding it so hard because they've gone so far into living for other people that it feels so scary to go back to the drawing. So whilst you have the opportunity now when you're young, just stop for a moment and reflect and say, is this really for me? This life that I think I want, this relationship that I think I want, this goals, this car that I think I want, do I really want it? Or am I getting it because of how I want to be perceived? Am I getting it because society says that's the type of car I should have? Am I getting it because I feel like that's the only way to be respected? I'm only getting it because I'm trying to prove a point. A lot of the things that we get is sometimes to prove a point for people who don't even care about us like that, right? You keep striving, you keep going and achieving and getting multiple degrees and PhDs and you're still not satisfied. What's that all about? Come on. We're not doing that. Girl, stop it. We are not doing that anymore. We are going to live a life that is authentic to us, that is true to us, that is fulfilling to us, that brings us joy. Yeah? If the job that you're in is causing you more stress than good, if you're not getting it, I know jobs are stressful. I'm not saying that, you know, you can have a job that never gives you stress, but it's a type of stress that is tolerable. Can you tolerate the level? Is the level of stress worth it? Is your mental health really worth it? Could you get a different job that, yes, may not pay well, but perhaps you can have your mind back? You can have some time back to enjoy what you love. The car that you have, do you really need it? Who is it for? Who is it for? When you sit in it, does it bring you joy, or is that the initial phase over? Do you need that car? Is it putting you in debt? So much debt that you can't even eat a proper meal, right? That you can't even gift a friend something or buy yourself flowers or treat. It's so silly. Like these goals that we have, I think we need to learn to put limits on them, because if you don't, what is going to happen is that you're going to keep striving without necessarily enjoying what you have. I feel like some of us are so addicted to the journey of attainment that is that cycle, because often when we attain, the excitement is very minimal and then we move on to the next thing. So ask yourself this question: do you actually want this thing that you say you want, or is it the journey that excites you the most? Ask yourself, do you really need to go and get that PhD? Do you need to go back into education? Yeah, how is that going to benefit your life? Is it really going to be fulfilling, or are you addicted to the chase? Because a lot of us, the chase is the one that gets us. But the moment you get it, you might enjoy it for 2 weeks and then that's it. The hype is over. I don't want to live a life like that. I don't want to live a life of constant chasing but not enjoying. I want to stop. I want to stop. I want to live. I want to enjoy. I want to be present. I want to be in the moment. And I can't do that if I keep chasing. I know this video is very different to the ones that I've done before, but like I said, this isn't scripted. This is just my thought process. I want to enjoy. I don't want to work until retirement age. I'm not saying like I never want to work, but I want to work. I don't want work to be 90% of my life. I don't think that's healthy. That's not healthy for anybody. I've got a young family. I want to be present. I want to watch them grow. I want to laugh. I want to have balance. The only way to have balance is to put a cap. And again, putting a cap is not me saying that I don't want, any goals or I don't have anything to attain. But if you know who you are and if you know what brings you fulfillment, you can put a cap on it. Everything else that comes after that is even great because it feels like an abundance because you wasn't expecting it, but the opportunity presented itself and you took it. But you're not actively chasing things that isn't going to bring you fulfillment. Like I said, for me, I just want to be able to sit in my garden. Have you guys seen that movie Baby Boy? When Tyrese's mum is sat in her garden, in a tomato garden with a glass of wine. That's a bit of me, mate. I just want to sit in my back garden, watching my potatoes grow, watching my carrots grow, watching my chilies grow, my tomatoes grow with a bit of wine, with a book, with my little kids running around, with my husband, having a cup of tea there in the morning, having my therapy session with my client. See, that's what I'm so fortunate that I have discovered so early on what it is that I think will bring me and I'm very much aware that may change, and if that does, that's okay. But for right now, I'm so fortunate, I'm so grateful that I've chosen to go down the path of therapy, right? Yes, there is a huge element of me wanting to help people, which even now I'll question that because once you do the course, you realize it's always been about yourself. But anyway, let's not get into all of that. But there is a part of me, there's a huge part of me that wants to help people in a very specific way, right? Social work is great. I've done it for so many years. It doesn't always allow me the time and space, quality time with people, but I think counseling does. That's one of the reasons I'm going into it. And, I feel like that's my purpose and things like that. But it also is in alignment with the type of life that I want to live, right? I get to pick when I work. I get to go to my children's role plays. I get to be present at their school plays, at their parents' meetings, right? I get to manage. It's fitting with the quiet, simple life that I want to live. Some of you are in professions that is not even fitting to the type of lifestyle you want. Maybe you want to slow down. Maybe you want to, try new hobbies, read more, but your job doesn't even allow you to, because when you get home, you've got your laptop on weekends, you've got your laptop on, before work starts, you've got your laptop. This life we have is all we have. Yeah, this is it. Here in the present, I'm not talking of spiritual world. I'm a Christian. I do believe that, we do have eternal life, but I'm talking of right here, right now. This is all we have, guys. Do not waste so many years living for other people, chasing goals, chasing dreams. That is not going to bring you fulfillment. That's just going to bring you sickness. Your body is going to break down. Your mind is going to break down. You've attained so many different things, yet you're working to maintain and working to keep it up when you could have just been satisfied with the simple, with the simplicity of it, with the smaller car, with the smaller house, with the just enough. The more money you have, the more problems, because you have to pay people to look after the money, and then you got it's crazy. Like when you really think of this system, it's absolutely crazy. I'm sure I've talked about so many things in this video. I don't even know if it resonates with you or makes sense with you, but what I'm trying to say again is that just stop for a moment, reassess yourself, reassess your goals, ask yourself who you're doing this for. Yeah, and if none of these goals will bring you fulfillment, will satisfy your soul, sometimes it's just good food is enough to put a huge smile on your face. Going to sit in these huge 5-star hotels, spending 5K a night, the food don't even taste nice. but maybe a good old burger, a good old kebab is enough. Like, know yourself, know what brings you fulfillment, know what brings you contentment, and strive for that. And often at times, the things that fulfill us the most and bring us contentment is so simple. It's so basic, it's so simple. But we've been conditioned to think that is this extravagant thing when it's not. But you can only understand this when you know yourself. So get to know yourself, reassess your goals, and work based on what the goals are. And once you've attained it, say to yourself, well done, this is enough. Let me just sit back and enjoy. Enjoyment. Enjoy it. No need to do more. If the opportunity comes and you have the capacity, feel free. But learn to enjoy what you've obtained. Learn to enjoy what you have, and just breathe and just live easy. You're going to live longer. Be present for your family. Be present for your kids. Be present for yourself. Go out, read a book, buy a new book, start a new hobby, start a new interest. Just let's calm down. Let's calm down and just relax. So I don't know what I said the title of this video is going to be. So guys, I'm sorry if the title that you saw on this video is different to what you watched the video. Like I said, this is not planned, so I need to watch this back and figure out a title that is more fitting. But yeah, I don't know, maybe this was meant to be a rant. But even if it is a rant, I do hope that it's given you something to think about, because we've got to we need to stop. You know, we need to stop going after things that don't serve us simply to prove a point or to, you know, conform to society, and we really don't care about it. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If you're maybe in a season like this, whereby you're rethinking goals, you're rethinking things, you're trying to manage expectations, have less stress in your life and things like that, comment, let me know how that's going. When did you realize that, oh, I don't really want this life? This is the life of somebody else. This is the life society's told me to have. When did you realize that? And what are the simple things that you love now? What are the simple things that you enjoy doing? I would love to know, guys. So yeah, feel free to share. If you enjoyed this video, like this video, subscribe, check out some of my other videos, and I will see you in my next one. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.